Today on Drawbli,
we are talking about how Ben leveled up his figure drawing in only one day.
Only one day, what? Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our journey of learning to draw, which is, of course, even better when you do it together.
So click that subscribe button if you are new around here and share your artwork on Instagram with the hashtag Drawbli.
Okay, Abby, so I made all of this that you can see here in less than 24 hours, all in one day.
One day.
One single day. I know,
my gosh.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So obviously there's a bit of a progression, as you can see in my drawings from left to right.
I can see the progression.
You might say a bit of a big jump.
Huge leaps, huge
So
leaps for mankind.
We're gonna start over here on the far left and talk about some of the early warm-up sketches, getting into some of the different ideas here, practicing with real photos, some of the bad, the good, and the better as we get over here. So I'm excited to get in and talk about it. Let's do it.
Okay.
So all the way over here, we have my warm-up sketches. And as you know, I've been taking Andrew Cockroach's course.
Yeah.
And he's got a really particular kind of cutesy anime style, which I attempted to copy over here. These are all just like rough warm-up sketches just to kind of loosen up, get all the mistakes out. Not be too worried about it.
I like that.
You know?
Yeah, you gotta have a warm-up
A lot of the time, we don't show this kind of stuff on
Who does,
Why
though?
would
Who
you?
does?
Yeah, but we will.
We're so
we'll show
real.
It.
We're so
oh my gosh, we're so authentic. Yeah, so some warm-up sketches, not anything crazy. Then I kind of get into just kind of practicing some simple shapes, some basic proportions. My whole objective here with this kind of self-given assignment was to try to obviously improve my figure drawing, but try to specifically do it with simplistic shapes.
Oh, so when you say self-given assignment, did you grade yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. I scored a 6 1/3.
Oh wow.
Yeah, pretty low score. honestly.
No, it's only a scale of 7. Didn't you know?
Oh wow, so actually pretty high score.
Pretty high.
Impressive. The 1/3 specifically. Yeah, great grade. My teacher, my self-taught teacher is a weird grader.
Yes.
Anyway, so this was really hard. I'm not gonna lie. Like, just all of this in general was very difficult, but it did get easier with time. But I was very impressed with myself.
No.
No, I was very impressed by actually how quickly I was able to actionably see that improvement. And I'll talk about maybe why that was as we get over here. So like I said, these over here are just like me trying in a really neutral pose to capture those simplistic shapes. And then as I got in over here, this was me looking at actual photo reference, trying to turn people into these simplistic shapes. I wasn't too worried about the proportions. As you can see, they're actually quite stylized in a lot of these. Like longer, skinnier arms and legs, shorter torsos.
I love that. I'm
big
so,
anime style heads.
Yeah, envious of that direction because I think that's such a fun part of drawing people in general is that idea of being able to make them really stylized and cartoony versus being locked into just like, oh no, the picture looks like this, so my portrait will look exactly like the picture.
I mean, the whole point of like drawing isn't to copy paste. I mean, some people like to do that hyper realism kind of stuff, but that is not ever really the kind of artist that I want to be.
How long did you spend per figure, do you know?
Oh gosh, I don't remember. Definitely under 30 minutes because there's a lot of these. Probably like depending on each one between 10 to 20. Probably closer to 10 for most of these, but as we get towards the more finished ones, probably closer to 20.
They look great. They have amazing silhouettes.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was a big focus of this. The focus kind of shifted as I went. So like from this first one, I chose something a little more neutral, then I tried something really dynamic, then I tried something like crazy hard with overlapping, a lot
those are so hard.
And from, being a part of Drawbli that I am not super great at figure drawing, and in the past it's something that I've definitely struggled with, which is why I did this. It's an area that I want to practice and level up in.
Yeah, and then all the more reason really to admire you going at it because it's like you picked the most difficult thing on your horizon wasn't, and you said, that's the thing I'm going to work on.
I'm going to do
No
it.
easy wins for me today. I'm here to do the work and get it done and be super pumped about the outcome.
Yeah, I'm going to be super pumped about some of the outcomes. So, like this one over here, I started focusing on like capturing contours and being like, oh, we're looking up at this figure, and you can tell that because of the contours of the shapes. And then I tried this thing that was this girl sitting down, and I was like, wow, this perspective is really bad. Goodbye. We'll try again. Ooh, this one's got a crazy perspective. I started to get there. And yeah, it was a lot. And that was kind of the point, was to just try to fail, but to fail quickly so that I could start making some better ones. So these are ones that, this one is actually in this category of quicker, but I definitely spent a lot longer on these two specifically.
Beautiful, yeah.
So by this point, I was actually starting to think about line weight a little more. Not a ton. You can see here I put like a thicker line to try to indicate a little more overlap. But that's something I need to obviously like practice a lot more. I felt like I captured, a little more of the gesture. Things were a little more clean here. There's some fun shapes. I was still thinking about the contours, different things. I tried something like with this like really dynamic ballerina pose.
I love this. You have it so well balanced. Like, it doesn't feel like any one limb is significantly or even at all out of proportion or out of length with the other limbs. It just looks very, very nice and delicate and graceful. Everything from the hands to the feet just works.
Yeah, of course, if you were to compare this with people who, are much better than me, you're going to see a huge difference. But
Don't
for
compare
me,
it with people who
exactly.
are much
If you
better than
compare
you.
with my past self,
That's who
and
you
look,
should compare
you can
with.
see it right here.
Literally.
My past self. I think there's a huge improvement there. This was my attempt at just doing like another quick neutral pose.
Okay, yeah.
Like somewhat neutral pose. Obviously a little more going on with the arms, up on the toes, to kind of just reference back to these to see if there was any kind of change or difference between what I was trying to do. I was still like, doing some contour stuff, so I was happy with that. And then I sat down, this was after a break, so this was all like in one session up to this point. I was at Starbucks for like 5 hours, I think. I was there for a long
I was
time.
at work that day, and I think you texted me at some point during the day telling me you were at Starbucks. And I said, oh, that's nice. And then hours later, another text, and you were still at Starbucks. And I was like, oh my God.
I was like super flow state because
That's
I
cool.
finished these and I was like, wait, what time is it? How?
That's amazing.
So then we get into these, which like I said was after a little break, kind of taking some time to think about, what I had learned, and then kind of coming back and trying to apply what I had learned. Some a little more successful than others.
No, that's good too.
I tried to do a really crazy perspective one again, which didn't really turn out super great. I didn't want to focus on hands as well, hands and feet. I was like, that is not my objective here. I'm trying to do simplistic shapes, just trying to capture the overall figure. This was my favorite personally. I felt like it was really dynamic. It captured the balance of the figure super well.
Really wonderful shoulder girdles too there.
The shoulder girdle.
That
it's
can
all
be
about
so
the
hard to
shoulder
communicate simply. It's such a complex area that I feel like I always try to attach a lot more complexity to it. And the idea of trying to just communicate it in a few simple shapes and have it look the way you want it to is very impressive.
Thank you. Well, a couple other here that kind of some more successful than others. I kept trying to do, I would try a simple pose and then I would try something a little more complicated, or I would try something specifically focusing on perspective. Perspective is definitely the area that I want to work on more, I think, moving forward.
Yeah,
just because, like, with these two, I was really trying to do that. I redrew this, further away side of this body so many times that I was just like, it's not looking good. It's not working.
That's interesting you say that, because I didn't notice that at all. Like, it doesn't read to me when I'm looking at that figure. I'm not immediately like, look at that weird part of the body. Like, until you said something and told me to look at it and tell myself it was weird, did not think it was weird. Did not think it stood out.
It's so weird. And then I just threw a little color on one here at the end. I honestly think that adding a little color to a sketch at the end is something that's a really quick, easy thing to do. This took like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to throw on top.
Yeah.
And it adds like a lot of character and fun to your sketches.
It does. I love that. That's such a great practice.
But yeah, that is how in one day I have gone from womp to womp?
Yeah.
Slightly better womp?
This is very exciting stuff. We are seeing
So exciting.
advancement of knowledge in real time.
Of
Very
course,
cool.
and if you want to see more advancement of knowledge, what did you say? Anyway, click that subscribe button if you want to see more of that.
Share your work on Instagram with the hashtag Drawbli because drawing is better together.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
Let's have a pizza party. Let's have a pizza party. There you go.
Pizza pie or a pizza party?
A pizza party at the Chuck E. Cheese.
All right.
We could do a different one.
No, that was yeah, that was good.
Chuck E. Cheese, where all the best pizza parties go to die. No.